Well, welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Talented Learning Demonstration Series. For those of you that follow along and any new followers, you'll know, or you do know, that this is my favorite series of content because we get to travel all around the world and review the world's best learning system solutions. And today's no different. We're going to be here with Aveen from MapleLMS. MapleLMS has been coming on strong in a lot of different use cases, but we're seeing them a lot is in the association and continuing education space. And we're going to learn all about today who they are, why they're different, and we're going to see their solution in action. So, with that intro, Aveen, take it away. It's all yours. Tell us about Maple.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, John, for having me here. I'm excited to do this demonstration and actually walk through our solution today. I also focus on association and a few more different industries. So we'll take a look at that as we go through the demo. But just to keep it short and simple, MapleLMS has been designed or has been developed with a number of capabilities that are association focused. We integrate with quite a few association management systems. That integration is a really strong capability that we offer. And then there are a number of tools inside the system that can help you save time, make your education processes a lot easier, automations as well. And overall, we'll be looking at it from a perspective where a number of these automations can definitely save time but save cost, and also some opportunities around non-dues revenue, which are essential for an association. So clearly, we'll take a look at those credits, CMEs, CEs, and certifications, and a lot more. But I did wanted to start with the integration piece first, so I'm gonna dive into the demo. That Let me bring up an example over here. Hope my
Up,
screen is
you're in the
visible.
right place already. I can see we're talking certifications and accreditations. We love that here.
Absolutely. And in this scenario, what I'm trying to demonstrate is a member journey, or well, this could also be a non-member, but typically a member journey. And this example also includes several integration capabilities within AMS. So right now, I'm logged into a member portal. This is not the MapleLMS site. It's a member portal of an AMS, and I'm logged in as a member right now. We're on the certification page where we have products listed. So these are courses, certifications, learning paths, um, hybrid courses as well, meaning blended courses, and a number of things. Some of these are summit as well. But the reason I bring this up as the first thing because um, one of the biggest challenges that we see with an association who's looking to integrate an LMS with their AMS is e-commerce, and many associations already have a association management system, which basically comes with a storefront. And in order to provide a seamless experience, we also kind of recommend to use your existing storefront to sell your educational offerings. Because if you look at it from a member's perspective, it's a lot easier for your members to just navigate through your site, find something that they're interested in, make a purchase. But on the back end, there are a number of things that happen. In a traditional setup, let's say if your systems are not integrated, um, an admin will have to track who all have purchased a training, maybe build a spreadsheet of those users, those members, enroll them into a course manually, and then, this is a lot of manual processes. With our integration, we try to streamline this process and basically implement several workflows. One of that is enrollment. So, in this scenario, let's say we're just browsing around, we're going to find a course that we're interested in and simply add this to the order, and we're going to make a transaction. But what happens from here is when the transaction goes through, there's an enrollment API that triggers on the back end, and it would automatically enroll this user into the course that they purchased. So not just course bundles or learning paths, But the goal over here is to again save some time on the administrative efforts and automate those processes so that automatic enrollment uh, will really save you time. You don't need to look up users, you don't need to upload spreadsheets or anything. This process can make things a lot easier. So we're gonna buy this course. I'm just going through the payment process over here. One thing that I haven't highlighted is the member non-member cost, which is not really an LMS functionality. That comes down to your AMS. So when you set up a product, you can set up a member non-member cost. For the LMS, the goal is to see that the payment was successful and then trigger a enrollment and add this participant to the right course. With that, we've completed the transaction. And second most important capability with this integration is single sign-on. And the third would be data synchronization, which we'll see in a bit. But single sign-on is highly required. We don't want your members to have separate login credentials just to log in their learning site and then find a course or a training that they may have purchased or have access to.
Hmm.
Um, our process to single sign-on, a lot easier. We typically add a link right in your education section, and this would send me to my MapleLMS account. You'll notice that it will log me in. There are no additional steps involved, and we are straight on the catalog page where I can see courses and modules that I purchased. The one that we purchased is right over here.
Mm. Interesting. So at this point, everything that I'm seeing would be what I purchased. If I wanted to purchase more, what happens? You end up back at the AMS to do that?
Yeah, in that
Yeah, is that how
scenario,
it works?
yeah. So I'm on a search page inside the LMS, right? So I can still filter out
Mm.
and find items that I haven't purchased yet. So if you notice, some of these are locked. So those are the ones that I haven't
Neat.
purchased. Yeah.
Okay.
So when I try to enroll me, it can send me back. Now, this particular instance isn't set up that way, but that's a typical scenario where you click into enroll me. It will take you to a product page in your storefront. The transaction happens, and then the user is redirected back in MapleLMS.
I see. I see. And what about before you go too far on AMSs? You folks have some of those already just pre-built, or do you have to be pre-build these integrations, or does the client have to build these integrations each time? How does that work?
So we have these integrations built out with a number of external uh, softwares or solutions. So AMS integrations, we don't really, I mean, we don't really ask our customer to deploy that integration, even if it's a new system that we're working with, we kind of take the responsibility to do that integration. Now, with some AMSs, which we've been working for a long period of time, we have those integrations ready to deploy, so it doesn't take a lot to deploy that integration. But with a new system, it still takes some time to maybe develop APIs and make
First
sure it's
time, yeah.
working the way it
Yeah.
should.
What's the core center sort of keep interrupting you here with good data, but what's the core ones that you work with all the time?
Yeah, typically all the popular AMSs that you might hear. So, Fontiva is one of those. The one that we saw right now was Fontiva. We work with Nimble as well, so Fontiva and Nimble both. You then maybe looking at some applications that are built on Dynamics, so NetForum, Protec, uh, and some that I can remember, which are not Salesforce or Microsoft dependent. Those would be Remembers, AMS, um, and Wild Apricot as well, and a few more. But those are some top that I see a lot.
Well, that's great. That's a great list. That's a differentiator too, because the corporate learning systems just probably don't even know the name of that list, let alone have the experience of integrating with a lot of them, which is why the association or continuing education space is so difficult, is because it's a whole different ecosystem than most organizations. So it's neat to see, or refreshing to see your deep experience in that. But continue, please.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And a few that we see a lot in the last couple of years. Novi AMS has been the one we get many requests from Novi customers who would like to integrate an LMS with the Novi AMS. So that's the newest one which we partnered with. But yeah, number of integrations available, and not just AMSs, CRMs, uh, credit reporting systems as well. So PARS, Acme PARS is one of that, which again is just specifically required by a specific industry, mostly into healthcare. But then, yeah, there are many different applications that we integrate with.
So,
Okay. From here, let's kind of try to conclude this integration quickly, and then we'll move into the LMS, look at a few more items. What you see over here is the backend of the AMS, and we're logged in as an administrator right now. So again, we're not in the LMS, but I'm going to show you one of the core benefits of integrating MapleLMS with your association management system, and that is data synchronization. And this is standard for any AMS that we work with. So the data points that we sync with with an AMS are typically standard with an option to customize those as well. But basically, what we're trying to do, we're trying to sync the learning data of an individual back to their contact record. So this would be Sam Smith, who's a member, and on this page, we can simply see what courses Sam is enrolled into. We can see a list of those with the current progress, completion date, and enrollment date, as well as enrollment status as well. We synchronize credits that a user has earned back to their records. So again, list of courses, the credit value that was awarded, date when the credit was issued, certificates as well. So name of the course, name of the certificate, date when the certificate was issued, and if there's an expiration date to it, that can also go back to an individual's record. And in some scenarios, badges and survey data can also be synchronized. But typically, this is what you can expect with an integration, single sign-on, e-commerce, and most importantly, data sync between both systems. Um, From here, let me log into another site. And before I log in, uh, some of our association customers also ask for a public-facing web page. Now, this is pretty standard in MapleLMS, and this might be helpful to show your educational offerings to non-members, just in case if they don't have access to see what's available. Uh, I've seen some, I've seen that kind of setup a few times, so I did wanted to bring this up. For example, this is just a plain web page, which is part of MapleLMS, so it's not a separate page that we need to build out, but it's already pre-built. You have sections available to show some of your courses. These could be dynamic, so anytime you create a course, it can be added straight to the public view, and individuals can see what's available. So they click into view detail, they'll see some description, they'll see cost, and they'll see modules available within that particular course or within that particular training. And the next step here would be to enroll, but that will require a login. So you log in, make a purchase, and then you're enrolled into the course right away, just the way we saw earlier.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And for login, so sometimes users might not navigate through AMS. They might just bookmark the login page of MapleLMS site, and in that case, they can land over here. But eventually, they'll find options to again log in with an SSO. So if we integrate SSO with a community, maybe a member portal, they can log in with that. But in this case, I'm just going to log in with my username and a password and give you a quick walkthrough of some of the capabilities. So we're looking at a learner account right now. This is what a learner would see when they log in. I've added a few additional items on my dashboard, and Basically, it's a configurable dashboard. So you have ways to customize the view of your learning site, both for learner as well as for a administrator and different roles. But we can have banners on top. This can be used to maybe for sponsorship opportunities, a very common use case. Some of our customers like to add these banners on top, mainly when there's a sponsor sponsoring a particular training or a course. These can have links, so it can lead to registration. And then these items on the bottom, these are quick navigation to specific catalogs. So I've just listed four top level catalogs. But if I were to find learning paths, I can simply click into it. That sends me to the learning path catalog, and I can uh, access a learning path right away. Uh, Scrolling down, you'll find an area where you can see all your trainings, courses, webinars. So these are items that you're already enrolled into, and you can track your current progress right on top of it. You can access a or resume a course right from here. And we also support learning paths. There are a couple of ways on how learning paths can be created. Those could be listed over here as well. If you notice, this in particular is a sequential learning path, so I'll have to complete the first course before I get access to the next course into this learning path. And eventually that can lead to a certification, maybe just a certificate of completion as well. Um, Since we are over here, a few more things. So language capabilities. We support 50 plus languages. I've installed a few over here. Um, the primary purpose of this language translation is to translate the navigation buttons and menu items on the site. And that can easily happen. So I've selected Spanish. You'll notice that some of these things, some of these items have been translated to Spanish, even these buttons. But courses can be authored in a specific language, could be created right in MapleLMS. Uh, so we don't really suggest online translation of your overall course, but for navigation, interface, those translations are fully available. There's a recommendation area over here, and this one's great. We just got a new update on our recommendations. So now all our recommendations are AI powered. So there's an AI system looking at an individual's record. Um, and when I say looking at an individual's record, it's just trying to track what courses might be relevant for an individual. So there are a number of factors it looks into. Firstly, job title, maybe profession of a user, maybe their role in the organization, and the courses that an individual has taken in the past, as well as the ones that the user is currently enrolled into. So based on course completion, I'll get more recommendations, or there might be some random suggestions as well. So just AI feels that these courses might be of interest, so I'm getting those as recommendations. And then I have a way to update my profile with the topics that I'm interested in. And if there are courses available for those topics, I'll get those recommendations as well. So recommendations have been supercharged now, all AI-based recommendations. This can also lead to more revenue, and it's just because as a participant or as a learner, when I'm getting content that's relevant to my profession, and if that is of my interest, I'm most likely to purchase that content, that course, uh, that can drive more revenue as well.
Hmm.
All right. With that, we're gonna dive into some examples first from a learner's view. So I'm gonna pull up a course. I'll take some fairly simple examples, and all of these are courses that I have built out. So not really actual training content, but dummy content. But I did wanted to show capabilities inside trainings that you create in MapleLMS. This over here is an online course. And apart from standard learning components like a SCORM package or video lesson, this is also gamified. So over here, we're looking at a gamification capability. This is known as leaderboard, and it basically awards points for participating into a course. So 9 points for viewing a discussion, 45 points for creating a discussion post, and then 9 points again for viewing a course module. I've already completed the course, but let's go to info and we'll see a couple of levels over here. So you can create levels within this leaderboard and you can associate points required to reach a level. For instance, when somebody gets started with a course, they're labeled as a community contributor. But when they have 120 points, they are then labeled or titled as a public power champion. And this can also take me to a leaderboard where I'll see other participants, their ranking, their level, and the points they've achieved so far, the points remaining to go to the next level. That's one gamification item. Sometimes um our customers also want some social engagement within their trainings, and that's true for online courses as well. For instance, over here, we'll find a participant forum. So this forum will allow individuals to create a discussion topic. They can engage in an ongoing discussion as well. They can respond to the post or a comment and do have an option to like or dislike a post or a comment. So this again is a way to drive some social engagement uh, within a course, within a training program. Then about content. So we support pretty much all sort of multimedia, including SCORM packages. This in particular would be a SCORM package, and I can resume from where I left off. The one thing to notice is that the package is not opening up in a new tab. It's just playing within the same environment. And the reason why I bring that up is with many LMSs I've seen, typically when you upload a score package and try to launch, it takes you to a new tab. So it will open up in a new tab. There will be pop-up blockers, which will avoid content from loading. So to eliminate all of those challenges, we have a setup where your package doesn't need to open in a new tab, but it can play within the course itself. So again, a better user experience. You don't leave out of the system, but you can watch all your files, all your content on the same screen. Um, then about videos. So Department of Water. We typically get this a lot, that we have videos, but it's not really engaging. And one solution to that is layering interactions on top of your video lessons. And we have a built-in authoring tool for that, so you can upload a video file. It could also be a YouTube video, any publicly available video. But then once you have your video imported, you can layer some knowledge checks or interactions on top of it. So we are looking at one such example. In this case, this learner is watching a video and there are a couple of timestamps where an interaction has been added. Now, when that timestamp triggers, the video can pause just like that, and we'll see an interaction on top of it. So I see a quick question. When I click into it, that expands into a multiple choice question. Now, when I respond, I get a feedback for the right and wrong answer. And if I end up with the wrong answer, it can send me back into the video. So I watch the previous part, come back to this question, hopefully go with the right choice. So let's hit continue. And you'll see that the video begins from start. So that's one way to uh, add some interactions to your video lessons, make them more engaging. Not just questions, maybe statements, maybe an image on top of a video, or maybe something else. There are a number of items that can be added. From here, I'm gonna navigate to some activities. And in this case, we are looking at a quiz. So our quiz module is used in a couple of ways. Sometimes just as a quiz, which it should, and sometimes for certification exam. So really two use cases that I've seen with the quiz module. Um, it comes with time limits. It comes with randomization. So questions and answers will be automatically randomized. There are about 16 different question types available. And you do have options to add multimedia. So if needed, images or videos can be added to a question. But then there's a concept of question bank, but most importantly, we have a new AI feature available, which allows creating questions for your quiz or your assessment with AI. It could be a prompt or it could be based on your current course content. But then here, let's submit our responses. And we'll go to a page where we can see our score, get a feedback for the right and wrong answers. And this quiz, I mean, this is set up for multiple attempts, but you can have specific number of attempts and passing criteria as well. Apart from quiz, this is something which our customers use as well. This is just a feedback survey built using the questionnaire module that we have. So, and I'm sure as we're going through this demo, I'm just trying to touch upon capabilities which are most common or widely utilized and most important as well. So this is something that I see a lot, feedback survey, quizzes, scoring packages, but then badges and certificates as well. And in this case, this feedback survey can also be saved as template. So again, you don't have to create your surveys every time. You can create a template, use that template across any new training or a course that you're building out.
Good.
Okay. Lastly, let's take a look at a certificate of completion. So over here, assuming that we completed the course, we can earn a certificate of completion. That's what it looks like. Um, and a number of customizations can be done for a certificate. Clearly, the background and look and feel, that's fully feasible, but sometimes our customers would add credit value on top of a certificate, maybe credit type if there are multiple credit types created in a course. And sometimes certifications often are valid for specific period of time. So along with date of issue, we can also have date of expiration and then maybe signature or a badge on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
Another option over here is sharing. And nowadays, we're seeing that our customers are loving this. So when you earn a certificate, you can add that straight to your LinkedIn profile. There's a direct button. For the first time, you'll have to log in to your LinkedIn account, but then it will bring you to this page where you can add this to your license or certification, and that's my LinkedIn on the back end.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Um, Profile. Um, I want to show this area as well because every learner gets a profile page, and we capture a number of items within a user's profile. These are helpful in many ways. For example, job title, audience type, membership type. All this information can sync over with an integration with your AMS. So when your users log in to the site, this data gets updated every time. And then the system knows who's a member, who's a non-member, or what cohort they belong to, or what's their role. And when you're building out courses or trainings in LMS, in MapleLMS, you can use this information to create conditions. For example, if I were to create a course which is member specific, let's say as a membership offering, then I can create that course and restrict that course just for members only using this information over here. I have my achievements listed over here. So all the badges that I've earned, certificates that I've earned with the date and time when it was issued, indicating if it's expired. And for my credits, I'll find credit activity. So I'll see courses that I've taken, type of credit that I've achieved, credit value, and the date and time when it was awarded, date of the course completion, and the certificate attached to it. So full transcripts available to a learner as well, and they can export this data easily, uh, as well as export overall transcripts, so not just credit, but also certificate and course related data.
Nice. Nice. Hey, take me through, if you got a minute, conceptually, or show us a few things on what you mean by cohorts,
Okay, cohorts
please.
basically refer to it's just a grouping method, but the way our customers use cohorts is they have a specific audience who signs up for a training for a specific duration, and then training programs are cohort specific. So I may have a cohort A and cohort B. What I want to do is group these individuals into appropriate cohorts, create educational materials which are specific to those cohorts, and have a way to assign those trainings automatically and then track that data by cohort. And for that, everything begins with the setup of cohorts. So, well, clearly you need your courses built out or trainings built out. But what I'll see over here is cohorts. And as I said, cohorts are basically a group of users. So I have a few groups or cohorts created, about 5 participants over here. I can assign it or add users to it as well, or rename this cohort the way I prefer. So you add a new cohort, and once you add a new cohort, you can choose a course that should be assigned, or maybe a training program that should be assigned to a cohort. And and this setup has to be, I mean, done in advance. You have a course built out, and then you've already created a criteria for cohort enrollment. So let's say this is our course. I'm going to go to enrollment method, and I'm going to add a method that's known as cohort sync. Okay, let's select a cohort, group A, learner. We can further separate them out into groups, but that may not be required at this point. And let's add this method. And once I do that, my 5 participants have been enrolled into the course right away, again, without having to add them manually. And if I were to track the progress of these cohorts, I can build a report which is specifically for that group, for that cohort.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
Since we are here into an admin's view, let's take a look at a few things. Number one will be course creation. And well, before we jump to course creation, let me talk about one key differentiator over here. And this is quite helpful for trade associations as they work with uh, organizations or companies. And this capability is known as microsite. It's a way to create separate learning portals or dedicated learning portals for exclusive audiences. So, and there are a number of use cases to it. So, let's say I'm an association who works with a number of companies, and one of those is a larger company who has some specialized training needs. Um, and this may not be a free offering, but this could be for a cost and could be a non-use revenue generator as well. You can offer them a dedicated portal branded to their branding, maybe with limited admin permission for a few individuals, and they'll have access to tracking data just for their employees, just for their users as well. Um, this is unlimited, meaning you can have unlimited microsites built out in MapleLMS, And what you see on this list is just a few sites that I've built out. I'm going to switch into a few, and you'll notice a change in the look and feel. So we should see the logo change, color change, data on the bottom changes as well as we switch to a site. So that's just one for ASAE. Let me try another one. So this is Amplify Solutions, and they should have a different look and feel, different branding, and a different set of trainings and courses just for their audience. This might be helpful for a for-profit company as well if they have users in different regions, meaning let's say a global organization who has
Hmm.
uh, pretty much presence in, say, all five continents, or maybe a few, maybe a couple of countries. You can segregate those users and content and data by these microsites. So if I go to courses in Amplify Solution, I'll find courses that are very specific to this particular audience. Yeah, but I hope you get the gist of it. It's just a way
Hmm.
to separate out or segregate audiences and provide exclusive learning experiences.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
And can that be can a tag on the profile drop you into the appropriate sub portal or microsite coming from the
Absolutely.
AMS?
Absolutely. It could just be an identifier that we can implement in the SSO. So everybody's signing in from one spot, from one portal, but they land into appropriate site depending on that identifier. Maybe region, maybe name of the company, maybe something else.
Okay. Thank you.
Mhm. Uh, I think we should dive into some course creation as well. There has been a few developments around this too. So for course creation, we now have AI available, and what it does, it can basically put together some piece of information, relevant information, and draft a course for you without having to go through some manual setup. So what we need over here is some information. Let's say name of our course. I'm gonna say leadership challenges in association world, something like that. And let's just call it online course. Now I'm going to take that prompt or use that information as a prompt and try to generate a course out of it. I see my system slowing down a little bit, but should be okay. And a number of things we can add over here, like target audience, tone,
Hmm.
duration, course level, tags. But let's say topics. We need about 4 topics. And let's go next. So at this point, AI comes into play. It's also trying to generate some suggested topics for the type of course we're trying to build. And we'll see those over here. So navigating governance structure in association, effective communication strategies for association leaders, innovate approaches to member engagement and retention, and managing conflict resolution. For the topic, uh, or the course topic, these make sense to me. If you were to regenerate that content, you can do that as well. But what you notice is suggested topics have been built out, summaries for those topics have been built out, and also the description for our course will be built out automatically, so we don't need to write a word. We'll see that right over here. And lastly, I'll just publish this course. So in a few steps, you'll have this information feed into the course layout, which you can further customize the way you prefer. Uh, but there we go. Here's our draft where topics have been created. We can then simply go into edit mode and add our modules to it, create activities, and even change the way this course appears. So a number of things can be done. But this just helps you get started quickly. And That's how course creator works as of now. Another item which might be relevant is around assessments. So I talked about generating relevant questions. So I'm going to walk you through how that question generator works. Let's say this is a quiz, and you've got a number of settings over here around timing, time limits, grade to pass, number of attempts, all of that. Let's just save and display. And I'm going to try and generate some questions. Now, if you were to add questions manually, you always have that option. You can even upload a CSV for your questions, but then question generator can save you some time. So that's the AI question generator. And two options over here. I can ask it to look at my course content, maybe course topics, say 1, 2, and 3, and it can generate relevant questions out of it. Or I can write a prompt over here and it will generate questions accordingly. For now, let's say these three topics and let's say about four questions, multiple choice, and I'm gonna generate questions over here. We should see a few questions generated, and we'll also have options to change the way these questions appear, but questions have been built out with titles along with it. I'm gonna select all, add to the quiz, and with that, we built out a quiz with questions and right answers in a minute. So
Nice.
just like that. Okay, and that's our quiz. Um, okay, since we are here, a few more items that might be of interest is uh is around tagging, and for that we have AI Assist available. This is an AI tag generator, so it basically helps you tag your courses in a way where these tags might be most relevant tags uh, according to interest of an individual. But let's just say we click here, we now see a few tags: leadership, challenges, association, maybe excellence as well. And these tags get added to the course. Now, the way this would work further is, let's say if I have a few members who are already enrolled in leadership courses, and now that this course has been tagged under leadership as well, they'll automatically get this recommendation on their recommended courses that a new course is here for leadership. That's one way how this could be helpful. And then you always have this question generator over here. Few more things. Let's say if you were to add a new topic and you couldn't really decide on what summary to write. Let's just say this is certification area or certification section, and I'm going to go to edit topic. Okay, so every time I see an editor like this, I'll see this icon, and this is AI content assistant. So I can give it a prompt and it can generate some textual content. So let's just say description for uh, certification section in the course, something like that, and generate. So we'll try to generate a couple of examples, title, and the description for it. Similarly, the second draft. Now, if we like one of those, we can add that to the editor, make changes to it as well. But then again, saves you time on writing things. You don't really have to write, type in a prompt, it can generate that text for you. Okay. Um, those are a few items that can be found inside the course. One more item that I wanted to touch upon was an integration with Zoom or a web conferencing platform. Not just Zoom, we support Microsoft Teams, we support GoToMeeting, uh, Google Meet as well. and a number of other tools. But Zoom and Teams are most popular, uh, particularly because Zoom is pretty popular amongst the general population, so they find it easier to use. Um, One of the core benefits of this integration is that it's out of the box. There's no additional cost to it, and it's something which you can deploy by yourself. We have a document. You can just read through the document, make some settings, and your Zoom will be integrated with your MapleLMS account. And then benefits wise, you don't have to go to Zoom to create these sessions. You can build an entire session inside MapleLMS, apply the appropriate settings as well. So let's say this was live virtual training session. And what I'll see is an option to select a host, select a schedule for this session, duration. This could be recurring session that happens on a frequency. This could be a webinar, so you can enable webinar option and get webinar controls. And the session can be automatically recorded. Now, this is turned on by default. What it does, it allows MapleLMS to upload the recording back within the same course. So once your session concludes, you can expect a recording to come back and reside in this course as a video file or a video activity. And that's helpful in a way when you have, let's say, a training which is live virtual. But then if some participants were unable to attend the virtual session, they can still watch the recording, maybe 100% of it, and then get some credits for attending or watching that recording as well.
Mm-hmm.
Notify course participants. That's just a notification which goes out when the recording has been uploaded. We can enable disable Zoom notification, and we can set up an attendance criteria as well. I'm going to say 10% required session engagement for a 1 hour session. So that means participants who join and stay in the session for 6 minutes and beyond, they'll be checked as present. The ones who fail to meet that criteria will be checked as absent automatically, and we'll be able to see this data into a report. With that, security, media settings, similar to how you see in Zoom. I also talked about creating restrictions. So if I were to restrict this session based on a profile field of a user, I can do that. Maybe just say membership type should be member. And then let's save and return. We'll then see a Zoom session built out, and it's also restricted just for members. And on top of that, let's say if we were to start and run this session, we'll come straight over here. We'll see an option to start the meeting and go live.
That's great.
Okay. That's the setup part of it. There are a few more things that are involved. There are notifications and reminders, which will go out automatically from the LMS. And that can go out on a frequency. You have ways to configure the frequency as well. The second part of this integration falls around data that it generates. So I'm going to show you an example of a report. Let's just head back to our dashboard for a bit. There you go. So in reports, there's a Zoom attendance report, and Zoom attendance report tracks data for a virtual session. For example, let's filter this out by a category, and it's just a session that we did. What it captures is name of the participant, their email address, name of the training session, name of the course, where it was scheduled. So this session also had a 50% session engagement criteria, meaning you have to be in the session for 50% and beyond to be checked as present. The attendance status, 96.44, has been checked as present. You'll also see check-in time, check-out time, overall duration spent by the participant on the session. And if we head to this training session, we'll also find the actual session. So we're an admin, we can see it. learners will not see the session that has passed. So that activity is typically hidden from learners. But then as an admin, we can find session report. We can find the recording right over here. Now my session report says there were 2 attendees, 6 non-attendees, no Q&A, no polls, and the recording URL over here. This video or this training video should also be inside the course. So if I stop the edit mode, I'll see the recording right inside the course. Oops, I may have turned on the edit mode. Let's turn that off. And there you go. So this was one session. And then there's the recording of that session. I think the other session was over here. And that's the recording for the session. When I click into it, that's the video recording.
That's great. It's for sure differentiating. It's really good at Zoom integration, just in general. That's deeper than I typically see. But the video recording is like right now, I owe my audience for 3 weeks of video recording because what I'm using isn't automated. And I'm like, okay, I got to send that today. I got to send that today. But, so if you have, 50 webinars or things that you're doing, just that part alone it is really cool. So I mean, it's great. Thanks for coming today and highlighting all these different areas. As we wrap up, I'll just reinforce some of the cool things that we saw, but it's neat to see kind of your focus, but really that it's available for a lot of different use cases. But it was interesting and refreshing to see you keep on coming back to the association use case and showing the differentiation there from a lot of different manners of the pieces that you need to run an association learning business, from managing content of all types, creating content and creating learning paths and cohorts, putting that all together, selling that from the AMS, automating everything on the back end, driving content rights, driving people to microsites. It does support that B2B model, are so important in associations. Just solid integrations with all the AMS providers. Second time I'll mention just how differentiating that is. I think one of the most common fallacies of a typical LMS provider is they just think, yeah, we got APIs, we can integrate with an AMS, but it's not that easy. It's not the technology, it's the know-how, it's the understanding of the use cases and best practices and how that's going to, unfold. And, that's something that the traditional vendors still don't have a full grasp on. So just by the nature of having all those AMS integrations and the experience of doing that is really cool. I'd like to see the AI being sprinkled through the application since the last time I reviewed it, from the assist in recommendations, probably the first place. But then, when you're creating a description, asking there, or you're inside creating assessment questions, asking there, or you need ideas to start creating the course and all the way from the macro level and dive into it. It's really nice, solid sprinkling in of that efficiency throughout. When you clicked in to add a module and you saw all those icons from Scorms to Zooms to Slack, I mean, that's a nice, solid part of like 20 or 25 things that are on there. So all in all, association viewers, if you're doing association and member and non-member learning as a core revenue generator for your organization, today was probably for you. And MapleLMS is somebody that you should check out. So, Aveen, thanks very much for joining us here today and doing such a great job in showing your organization and solution. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you for the opportunity, John. Really appreciate it.
Awesome. Listeners, thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Talented Learning Demonstration Series. Now you see why it's my favorite series of content. We get to see the best, and we got to see it again today. So thanks very much. And you can find more of our fiercely independent content at talentedlearning.com, and you can go to MapleLMS.com and learn a whole bunch more about what Evan showed today. So there you have it. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you.